Happy April Fool's Day, everyone! Today I've got something a little bit special, in the sense that you will probably die of cringe by the time it's over. Dr. Lockdown is not the first channel I have run. Actually, that would be the channel that was attached to my LEGO channel back in the day. See, I used to make some pretty terrible LEGO Transformers over on mock pages, and in time I thought, hey, why don't I start a YouTube channel on the side? As a first attempt, it's pretty bad. And I thought, if it's that bad, why don't I just cover it for April Fool's Day? I mean, you know. Now, a fellow YouTuber did in fact bring something up. Why not just delete them altogether? Well, that's the thing. If we're going to move forward and improve, we really have to acknowledge our past. And what better way to acknowledge it than to make fun of it? Sure, these videos are pretty bad, but, you know, we can have a laugh and move on, can't we? So, get ready to cover your eyes and ears, because you may die of cringe by the time this is over. Greatly inspired by the likes of Optipotamus and MGO, I thought I would start off by reviewing LEGO figures. Except they weren't LEGO. They were character building. This was primarily supposed to be a LEGO channel, and I reviewed a knockoff brand. Although they're not really knockoffs, they just happen to use the brick system, although that could be considered a knockoff, although it might not be, although it's Doctor Who, although now we already have LEGO Doctor Who, so what's the point? Thing is, I had no concept of a backdrop back then, and instead I decided to build one out of LEGO, and oh god, it looks terrible. This thing is tiny, how the hell was it supposed to work for larger figures? It was a really, really bad idea right out the gates, not to mention the video itself is pretty poor as well. Greatly inspired by the likes of Optipotamus and MGO, I thought I would start off by reviewing LEGO figures. Except they weren't LEGO. They were character building. This was primarily supposed to be a LEGO channel, and I reviewed a knockoff brand. Although they're not really knockoffs, they just happen to use the brick system, although that could be considered a knockoff, although it might not be, although it's Doctor Who, although now we already have LEGO Doctor Who, so what's the point? Thing is, I had no concept of a backdrop back then, and instead I decided to build one out of LEGO, and oh god, it looks terrible. This thing is tiny, how the hell was it supposed to work for larger figures? It was a really, really bad idea right out the gates, not to mention the video itself is pretty poor as well.
Hello YouTube, this is the Dcast, and this is my first YouTube video, and, well, for my first YouTube video I thought I would do something like a review, and so I picked up this.
God, aren't you using a microphone? This is almost as bad as the first Dr. Lockdown videos.
From one of the most unlikely places. It's actually from the ABC store.
By God, are you serious? The most unlikely of places. That's what the ABC shop is for. It's for selling Doctor Who. In fact, that was the only thing keeping it afloat until it went under.
This, some of you might not have, but don't worry. You're going to hear about it now. So basically, what this is, it's called character building. This basically...
Oh my god, just get on with the video! How can you drag on when it's only a 3-minute video? What is any of this supposed to mean? I'm not making any coherent sense, and why does it sound like I'm high off my mind anyway? I'm supposed to be, what, 14, 15, maybe even 13 in this video? Nowadays, if I was gonna ramble on like I am now, I'd at least keep it short and to the point, and I would actually cut out the mistakes. Indeed I would. Except for this time, which I don't really have anything to say, but you get my point. I need to keep on track and actually keep viewer interest. In fact, that part just made a mistake then, and I just cut it out right now. So please, you know, continue. What is this character building?
Anyway, I'm going to speed up this part, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's all done.
Plot twist, I never actually sped up the footage. I had all the know-how on how to speed up footage in iMovie, and that was the old version before it went to shit, although still it was kind of shit back then anyway. I never ended up actually exporting it, and instead I just posted the original videos for some reason, not sure why. Instead, what happened is I just let the video draw itself out, in spite of it only being 3 minutes, and I posted it in 2 parts. And then this happens.
Not now, Mum. I think she's up at Yaya's.
Now, for a bit of context, Yaya means grandmother in Greek, because I'm a quarter Greek, and yes, this is some of the cringeworthy stuff I was talking about. Seriously, what the f*** was I doing? Why didn't I edit this? Why didn't I export this? Why didn't I upload the exported version? Why did I just upload the originals? This is bullshit. And then the second half is just me rambling on about other random things that don't really relate to the review. It's really, really a poor video. Although I was probably 14 at the time, it seemed like I was 7 with how immature the video was. Anyway, moving on.
Hello YouTube, this is the Dcast.
Okay, seriously, where did the name Dcast come from anyway? I get that, you know, my real name is Declan Mueller. But honestly, why the f*** did I call it the Dcast? Of all the dicky names I could have come up with, why did I come up with the dickiest one of them all? Seriously, what was I even thinking?
And this is my second video on YouTube, and I thought this time I would do a mock. Part of the LEGO Transformers Conquest line I've made. Basically what LEGO Transformers Conquest is my interpretation of the Generation 1 storyline behind it. It takes the characters and makes them better than ever before. It's post G1.
No f***face, that's not what it does. It's actually completely shitty fan fiction with terrible mocks that are all rainbow coloured without really understanding what the Generation 1 characters were. Often these interpretations were just me slapping a Transformers together and then slapping another character on it. Just like Michael Bay does. Woohoo!
Here's a special mock I've made. You can see this front nose section. Here's a jet, kind of like a Cybertronian jet. It's a very pterodactyl-like jet with a lot of cool stuff. The only problem is the hands are on the back. Yeah, that's the only thing you can really see. This is a transformable gun because it separates into two different pieces when it goes into robot mode. And in case you're wondering what that noise is in the background, the kind of Lego stuff, that is my sister. She's kind of... yeah, I bought her first Lego and she's into it too. But anyway, before I quickly do that, just a quick size comparison. I'll be size comparing it in both robot mode and vehicle mode with the Dalek I reviewed last episode. Now, you can see here, it's pretty small when it comes to minifigure scale, but micro scale. Micro scale's cool. And there you have Swoop. Yeah, I know he's a bit tall to stay on the stage thingy, but yeah, you can see that he's a lot kind of more bulky. He's a bit more like Blackout from Transformers Animated than the original Swoop, but I kind of like it because it's a lot different.
But in all seriousness, the dislike ratio speaks for itself. This was just a horrible, horrible idea to speak over it, and in the future I would just have montages instead. The whole idea behind this isn't that bad, and it was taken from the way Chris Roach would do things, but the execution is pretty piss poor. Especially on this figure. This figure was one of my not as good attempts at building LEGO Transformers. It was one of my earlier attempts in system after I moved away from my shitty LED builds, and overall it's pretty underwhelming. Next video, please!
Hello YouTube, this is the Dcast with another LEGO Transformers Conquest mock. And this one is huge.
Hang on a minute, I don't actually remember this one. I never actually uploaded it to mock pages. How odd, I must have lost the photos for it. This is a rather bizarre case of me gushing over how good it is when really it's just a complete piece of shit. But it's interesting to see this because I don't remember this at all.
Man, I really made him big. Made his vehicle, his beast form, really, really big. Just to show you how big his beast form is. Look, his robot form's about the size of a Commander class figure, but his beast form just towers over Optimus Prime. He's twice as big as him.
Oh, it's about as big as a Scout class figure. Oh, that is so big. Yeah, please, no. If you've never seen a city bot up close, you don't know what big is. What the actual f*** is my sister's lamb plushie doing in the background? Didn't you think to remove anything that would be embarrassing from the shot? And what the hell is up with this YouTube stabilization effect? It looks horrible. Seriously, why would you even do such a thing? Just leave it shaky, it's way better. Ooh boy, I can feel my eyes burning just from looking at it. Next, please! Oh yes, fantastic. Yes, listen to all those GarageBand loops to make the shitty remixes of Pokemon songs. Oh joy. Yes, this was made back in high school, and of course it's not going to be as good quality as the kind of music that I do now, but still, I could have put a little bit more effort in there. I haven't even changed the basic MIDI instruments. This sounds horrible. I mean, listen to an actually good remix. And now listen to this one. See, the difference is night and day. To be fair, I kinda like this one for nostalgia's sake because I remember putting in a lot of effort into it, but none of these are actually any good. I should mention that since then I have moved away from the electronic garbage that I produced. I'm not saying electronic music is garbage, I'm saying that the electronic music I produced is garbage, and moved on to, professional jazz music, studying it at the conservatorium. In fact, if I can find it, here is a little clip of it. Is it playing? I hope it's playing. I don't even know if I still have it or not. But that's the most recent composition I've done. Well, it's not a composition, it's more an arrangement, but you get the point. I think the crowning jewel of how bad everything is would have to be the Skyrim remix, because I didn't actually know the full melody of it. Yes, I didn't bother to actually play the game, or actually look up the entire melody. I just kind of took the first bit, and then drew it out for about 8 minutes. Just like I drew out the first video. Oh joy. Oh, this brings back memories. This is gonna be good, and by good I mean it's gonna be so bad. Me faking a reaction to the unfair platformer, essentially a troll game that I essentially said essentially way too many times, essentially over. Oh, wait, I still essentially do the same thing nowadays, essentially. The reactions to this video game are pretty stock standard. I was getting into JonTron at the time then, and I thought, hey, why don't I make a Let's Play? Although I really did it poorly. I mean, look at that Screencast-O-Matic logo in the corner there. I didn't even bother editing that out because, well, I couldn't on iMovie. Basically, I thought I'd just do a bit of review. Somebody told me it was really hard, and I really want to see what it's like. Wait, what? No shooting? What the is this? Where? Nothing? Oh well, there's some stuff there, and this looks a lot easier. What? What the? Oh well, let's get this crap on. Let's get this crap over with. Forget it. Oh, you're kidding me! Box just appeared there? Was that a glitch? Ugh! That was no glitch, that was meant to happen. This is a trap, eh? Oh well. What the is this supposed to be? I know what to do here. Also, this game has traps in it. Yeah, I know. Oh. What the? Let's see if I give a damn. I was right earlier. Ugh! You stupid mother... Ugh! You already! 18 lives lost! In the first 5 minutes! Nowadays, rage videos are sort of past their prime, and although people still make them, they don't really garner the same appreciation as they used to, so this kind of video, if I had grown up in this time, I'd probably do a completely different style. No, instead, nowadays, you get people hyping over Smash Bros. Trailers. Now, this bit right here. This, I think, is the low point of all my videos. Now, sure thing, it's okay in terms of animation, but the pure concept of it is quite garbage. And there's a reason the very shirt I'm wearing happens to be a dead meme. Brace yourselves for Spectre Gangnam Style.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Oh no, I didn't, did I? I actually went through with this horrible sketch. Oh no, I bumped my microphone. Cringe.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
I want to die.
Oh look, it's another shitty meme I did. And this time it's an even shittier meme that's not self-aware. And it's got shittier animation, and a reused Fall of Cybertron background. Oh joy. So most of my animations up until this point have been really bad memes, but at this point, this meme I still find quite funny. It may be a sense of nostalgia, it may be a sense of the original idea that I used for the music. Yeah, I still kind of like it. Sure, it may seem pretty cringy because of the Minecraft skin that I recreated in that, but overall, there's a bit of charm to this compared to the other videos. So this right here is in fact the first animation that I ever did in CGI, and for the purpose of keeping people's identities a secret, I am going to blur out the faces of the actors in this. They were high school friends, although at that point finally everyone had stopped harassing me because of my hair, and I'm not really sure they'd give permission for, you know, me using their faces in this. This was a rather ambitious project at the time, hoping to portray a video game where two robots fought each other. In fact, I still have the robot model and I used it in my later animations. But it fell flat when I realized I had to do other classroom assignments. Of course, my animating skills have become a lot better since then, but I don't really have anything to show for it. In fact, this video is unlisted specifically because of the fact that I didn't want to share it with anyone. Yeah, I didn't know how to do lighting either, so you can see everything's really dark and the shot composition is pretty poor as well. I mean, look, you just saw that. The eyes were quite literally at the bottom of the screen. Not to mention I repeated animation and you could barely see what was going on. Ugh, I thought I could see what was going a lot better when I brought it out, and this isn't so bad, but I could do a lot better now. Ugh. Yeah, my old channel was pretty bad, and oh god, it's not even a couple of minutes in the title sequence and everything. It's basically there anyway. Me in a cameo? I wasn't in a cameo, I wasn't even in it! Dear god, what the hell? Now that we've looked at all these videos, I think I'm going to make most of them private. Some of them are going to still be up, but honestly, if I've got them here in retrospect, I don't really see any point to go back to them. I'm definitely going to make the remixes private, because, my god, those are terrible. Some of the LEGO stuff will still remain unlisted for the links to the mock pages, but by all means, you know. But honestly, I don't want a lot of these things on the internet anymore. And yes, that's going back to the thing of why not just delete all of them, but still, I want to remember them in some way. And at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that it happened. You can't really change your past, but you can learn from it. And in terms of my video quality, that has definitely been the case. Anyway, I hope this has been the most informative April Fool's video that you've seen so far, because a lot of them are just going to be garbage and jokes.
April Fools, motherfucker!
And this is probably the most garbage of them all, but at least you've learned something about my past in the process. Until the belated Bumblebee and Stinger video, you may want to cleanse your ears with a drill and your eyes with some bleach. See you next time.